Okay, boss, fine. Now let me proceed for today. The different types of drivers. Before proceeding different types of drivers, let me focus on some of the basic methodologies. What are the basic methodologies which is given by the vendor companies, and those methodologies, those approaches, those techniques are there for to work with the drivers. So what are the vendor companies? Vendor companies can use total 5 methodologies or approaches or technologies. Vendor companies can use total 5 methodologies, approaches or technologies to develop JDBC drivers for different database softwares based on the open JDBC specification. What are those? They are: first, type 1, here JDBC, comma, these are the alias names, any alternative name for those drivers: JDBC, ODBC, bridge driver, and it is outdated, boss, outdated. Type 2 driver, and the alias name is native API, or you can call partly Java driver. Third type of driver is the type 3. You can call as a net protocol, or you can call one more name is all Java driver. Next, fourth, that is type 4. The name is native protocol, or it's supported for all Java driver. No, it is outdated now. And as compared with the all, type 4 is a very popular in the real world industry. Here is type 5 driver. It not named. It is not named right guys. बारसा केलं नाही आणखी. ठीक है. Latest but not doing well. Okay, boss. Okay, boss, fine. Here only Sun Microsystem supplied, supplying type 1 driver, type 1 mechanism based JDBC driver. Database vendors and third party vendors are giving type 2 comma type 4 comma type 5 mechanism, type 2 2 slash 4 slash or 5 mechanism based JDBC drivers. Okay boss, some JDBC drivers and all ODBC drivers take the support of vendor database library contains logic to locate and interact, or you can call communicate with local or remote database software. In case of some JDBC drivers supports local or remote database software in Windows environment. It comes as DLL files. We can call that those DLL files as a advanced exe files in Windows. Okay. In case of Oracle, the vendor DB library, the vendor database library is OCI.dll. Vendor database library comes along with database server or client software installation. Vendor database library comes along with the database server, also client software installation. Vendor database library, vendor DB library is also called as database native interface. Okay boss. Understanding JDBC type 1 driver. Understanding JDBC type 1 driver. Here vendor database library comes vendor database library comes automatically in the machine when client or server version of database software is installed in that machine. So vendor database library comes automatically in the machine when the client or server version of the database software is installed into that machine, means client machine. Server database software is the real database software. Why I am calling as a server database software is a real database software? Because server database software is a real database software. The client database software contains only some tools. The tools like you can call SQL plus, okay. And vendor database libraries, it contains the vendor database library to interact with your other applications. So that because of that reason, server database software is only the real database software. Client database software contains or means it is not real database software, but it contains setup to talk with server, the server database software of remote machine. Okay boss, fine. Let me have some discussion about this one. That is paint. Here is the paint. Okay boss, fine. I am having one client machine, guys. This is my client machine. Fine. This is server machine. Don't bother about the size, what kind of size I am drawing here. Okay. This is my Java application. This is what was Java application. Next, I need one more which contains JDBC driver, JDBC type 1 driver. Next, I need ODBC driver. This is for ODBC driver. Next, I need database libraries in the form of DLL. Database libraries in the form of DLL. Let me rename all those control components. Okay boss, this is my client side, or you can call client machine. Here is my server side. Okay boss, fine. It is my Java application. Okay, Java application contains what boss? JDBC code. Okay boss, fine. Next, what is here? Here I need, this is the driver manager. This is what boss? Driver manager service. Driver manager service. Next, here I need ODBC driver. ODBC Here is my type 1 JDBC driver. Here is the ODBC driver for Oracle. Next, here I need DLL files. Okay, boss. Here vendor database library for Oracle. Okay, boss. Fine. Here I need the directions. Here I need database software. Here I am installing what was Oracle. Oracle is already installed on the server side. Suppose this is Oracle, and here is this is database, Oracle database software. And what is here, boss? Here is the network. Here is what, boss? Here is the network. Java application contains JDBC code. Java application contains what, boss? JDBC code. Okay, boss. Fine. And these all are interacting with one another. Java application takes the help of type 1 JDBC driver with the help of driver manager service. This driver manager internally communicates with ODBC driver for the Oracle, which is installed on the client machine or the server machine, and this ODBC driver will take the help of DLL files for the Oracle, and these DLL files will search for appropriate database software on the network. Okay, boss. Fine. Means what here? Java application take the support of JDBC type 1 driver, ODBC driver for Oracle, and vendor DB library for Oracle, guys. Now here is the network. What is here, boss? Here is the Oracle database software. Here is Oracle database software. Okay, boss. Fine. And this is a part of network. Okay. Fine, boss. This is a part of network. Now, after communicating with whom, boss? Database software. What are the results which is processed from? What are the result which is processed from the Oracle will be sent to the DLL file, DLL library, Oracle vendor DB libraries. Oracle vendor DB library again takes the help of ODBC driver for Oracle, and ODBC driver Oracle will take the supports of type 1 JDBC drivers, and result will send to whom, boss? JDBC code, which contains in Java application, and the Java application responsibility is what, boss? Java application responsibility is what? To process that result and display the result. So this is the way where type 1 drivers works along with the database software. Okay, boss. Fine. Clear, boss? Okay, boss. Fine. Here, let me go for some advantages. Advantages of type 1 driver, type 1 JDBC driver. Since ODBC drivers are available almost for all database softwares, since ODBC drivers are available for almost all database software, we can use one type, we can use one, that is we can use only one, that is type 1 JDBC driver to interact with all or multiple database software. Type 1 driver is coming or is available as built-in JDBC driver of JDK software, so there is no need of arranging type 1 JDBC driver separately. So you don't require any external software configuration for JDBC type 1 driver. This is coming along with the built-in JDK installation with the rt.jar. Even though database software is not having separate JDBC driver, we can interact with that database software by using type 1 JDBC driver. Do you need an external configuration for this? You don't need. Okay, by default rt.jar is available. You have to create the DSN and configure, add the DSN in the driver manager. Are you getting? Just register the driver manager service with the DSN, pass the username and passwords. Internally it will take the help of ODBC driver. ODBC driver will search for what was appropriate DLL libraries which is supplied by Oracle, and that Oracle library is responsible to interact with the database software, fire that query, execute that queries. After sending that query and executing that query into the database software, whatever the result is received, that result again sent back to the ODBC. ODBC will interact with the JDBC type 1 driver, and JDBC will process that result in your Java applications, and it's a Java program responsibility how to process that result or how to write the business logic. Next, let me proceed for what was disadvantages of type 1 JDBC driver. Okay, boss. Fine. Here. Since there are multiple layers, in the architecture of type 1 driver the performance of the type 1 driver is very poor. Here I am giving the disadvantages. You can call this is not an industry standard. Why? Because this type 1 driver does not meet an industry standards. Okay, industry standard does not meet industry standard, does not meet industry standard. Because of that reason this is not recommended, guys. Next, since vendor database library and ODBC drivers are required at a client side, we cannot use type 1 driver for internet network based application, and for untrusted applet to database software communication. Okay, boss. Here question arises, what is trusted applet and what is an untrusted applet? Do R&D, boss, please. Because of poor performance, type 1 driver, because of type 1 driver is not suitable in medium and large scale application. Okay, boss. Take one note point, guys, for your case. What is the meaning of trusted applet and untrusted applet? Trusted applets can interact with files of file system. Means no security. Untrusted applet cannot interact with the files of file system. So I can call here the security, guys. Here I can provide the security. By default, all applet programs are untrusted applet by default. So what is the file system, guys? Here file system is nothing but what are the files and directories which is available in your computer, all together are called as file system. Okay, fine, boss. Let us proceed for type 2 driver. Are you clear why type 1 driver is not recommended? Because of its most poor performance of a type 1 driver. Next, understanding of JDBC type 2 driver. Okay, boss. Type 2 driver or you can call type 2 JDBC driver. Type 2 JDBC driver take the support of vendor DB library by mistakenly I entered here type 2 JDBC driver take the support of vendor database library to interact with the database software. This driver contains some native code written in C++, like languages while working with this driver there is no need or necessary to work with ODBC driver. Are you getting, boss, what I mean to say? In the last example, what have I done here? What have I done here? When you come to here, when you go to this diagram, here we are taking the help of what was ODBC driver, na? But when you come to the type 2 driver, this does not require what was right click open with what was paint. Let me remodify this diagram. Let me have the eraser now. Let me remove all the stuff. So I don't need what was ODBC driver. Directly you can remove, na? Directly your JDBC type 1 JDBC drivers will interact with whom, boss? Will interact with the DLL files. Are you getting what I mean to say? So you can take this diagram for type 2 driver. Okay, boss, let me add a single arrow instead of joining multiple arrows from here to there and there to here. So let me have single arrows for both the sides. Okay, boss. So here which layer is removed? ODBC driver is removed, na? Okay, boss. Take the driver, take the name for this. So this is the type 1 driver type 2 driver trying to interact with whom, boss? With the directly DLL files. Are you getting? So here Java application contains JDBC code. Java application contains what, boss? JDBC code. This JDBC code contains driver manager service where we are using JDBC type 1 driver, JDBC type 2 driver. What we are using, boss, here? JDBC type 2 driver Here what we have to use here? JDBC type 2 driver. That's it. Fine, boss. Okay, fine. My Java application uses JDBC code to interact with the driver, to interact with the database. They will take the help of driver manager service to load the type 1 driver by using driver manager service. This driver manager service will take the help of DLL files for vendor supplied database libraries for its appropriate databases. This database may be for Oracle, maybe for MySQL, maybe for PostgreSQL. Are you getting? So here, with the help of these DLL files, my Java application can interact with the database software, which may be on the local machine or which may be on the remote machines. After interacting with this database software, whatever the queries executed, whatever the queries fired from the Java application database software, the result will be processed and sent back to Java applications. This will be taken care by whom? Driver manager service. Okay, boss. We can take the same diagram for MySQL also. Above diagram is similar for MySQL database software, or you can call MySQL driver also and MySQL database software. Okay, boss. Is that clear? Okay, boss. Let us proceed for advantages. Or similar diagram, just what you have to remove? ODBC driver. One layer is removed, na? What, boss? Fine. Let us proceed for advantages of type 2 driver. JDBC type 2 driver. Okay, boss. Fine. Let us proceed for what, boss? Advantages of type 2 driver. Okay, boss. This gives better performance compared to type 1 driver. There is no need of working with ODBC driver. Okay, boss. Fine. So you may ask, sir, how it is giving the better performance? Then you will come to know, guys. You will come to know that how it is better performance means I have to compare with one or other, na? If one student is having better performance, how can I realize that is having better performance? I have to compare with one or other students, na? The similar way for the JDBC type 1 driver also, here I am comparing with type 2 drivers. So as compared with the type 1 drivers, type 2 driver is the better one. Okay. So because of that reason, type 2 driver is the provides better performance. Let us proceed for disadvantages. Okay, boss. Fine. Type 2 drivers must be arranged separately. Either from database vendors or third party vendors. Okay, boss. Since vendors database library is required at client, since vendor database library is required at client side, this driver is not suitable for untrusted applet to communicate with the database software and for internet network based application. Okay, boss. Type 2 driver performance is not suitable for large scale and medium scale application. We need separate JDBC driver, that is type 2 for each database software. But in the case of type 1 driver, no, it's a common to all, na? But in the case of type 2 driver, we need what, boss? We need separate JDBC driver. In the case of type 1 driver, it is a common for all. Okay. For example, type 2 driver for Oracle. Next, type 2 driver for MySQL and etc. boss. Okay, boss. Take one note point. Native code it is the code that contains that is developed outside of the Java environment, but can be used in Java application. For example, guys, example of native method, that is system.exit of what? 0. Fine. Understood? Okay, boss. Let me go for now next third. Understanding of type 4. We'll go type 3 later on. type 4. First understand this type 4 driver, then type 3 is useful for connection coding. I will let you know. Understanding of type 4 JDBC driver for database software. Okay, boss. Now, what I'm trying to do, I'll proceed here. Where let me have the pen. Now, in this pen, I'm having a Java application, boss. What I'm having one Java application which resides on the client side, and Java application contains Java code, and it needs type 4 driver to interact with the database software. Here is my database, Oracle database software, which is installed on the server machine. Which is installed where, was on server machine. I think next time also I have to use mouse. This is my database software, boss. Oracle database software. Let me rename the code. Let me understand the flow. Let me make you understand the flow of execution. Here is the example of type 4 driver. Here is my what, was client side. Okay, boss. Client side. Fine. And here what was here is server side. Okay, boss. Here is my Java application. Okay. Java application contains what, boss? JDBC code. What it contains? JDBC code. Here is what, boss? Type 4 driver. Type 4 JDBC driver. Type 4 JDBC driver for Oracle. Now what is here, boss? There is a Oracle database software. Oracle database software. Fine, boss. Fine. Where is that, boss? Everything is gone now. How gone? Okay, let me have the rename again. Not to worry. I took from the top. Okay. I have to click here, but I click outside. This is what, boss? Client side or client machine. This is the client side logic, and this is what, boss? Server side. This is what, boss? Java application. This is what, boss? It contains JDBC code. Here is the type 4 JDBC driver. Don't go to the size, guys. Don't go to the box size. There is a driver for Oracle. Now here is the Oracle database software. Okay, boss. Fine. Let me give the name for this. This is type 4 JDBC driver. Type 4 JDBC driver. This type 4 JDBC driver is totally designed in Java environment. Okay, fine, guys. What is left now? Just let me have the arrows now. How your Java application is trying to interact with what was with the Oracle database. Java application uses JDBC code which contains driver manager service. Driver manager service loads the appropriate JDBC drivers, which is of type 4 drivers, to interact with whom was Oracle database software, which may be on the remote machine or which may be on the local machine. This type 4 JDBC drivers will send and executes this query to the database software. Oracle database software responsibility is to execute that query and send response back to type 4 JDBC driver. Type 4 JDBC driver will get that result and send that result to whom was to the Java application. Java application sends that, Java application will receive that request, will receive the result. It may be bulk of record or it may be a single counts and process the results in the Java application, guys. So here there is no ODBC driver, there is no native code DLL libraries, and there is no internal library files. So I am removing two layers from this application and these things on the network. These things on the network, guys. So let me write the here line. Let me write the lines here. What is boss here? Network. Let me use red code. Network. Okay, boss. Fine. Understood? Okay, boss. Let's proceed for now. Advantages. Before proceeding this one, let me complete a statement. This type 4 driver, this type 4 JDBC driver, type 4 JDBC driver is totally designed in Java and Java environment and interact with the database software, directly without taking the support of ODBC driver and vendor supplied, third party vendor supplied library. Okay, boss. Let's proceed for advantages. Okay, boss. Fine. There is no need of ODBC drivers and vendors database library. Okay, boss. Libraries at where? At client side. So this driver gives better performance. This driver gives better performance and also suitable for internet network based application like untrusted what was applet to communicate with the database software. This driver will be developed. This driver is developed total in Java. So it gives platform independency. So it gives what was platform independency. This driver can be downloaded dynamically to client machine from internet network. Okay, boss. This driver is industry standard. This driver is a industry standard and also suitable for medium scale and large scale applications. So it gives better performance than type 1 and type 2. Better performance than type 1, type 2 drivers. What are the disadvantages, guys? Let us proceed for disadvantages. Okay, boss. This driver should be arranged separately from either database vendors or third party vendors. Next, separate type 4 JDBC driver is required for every database software. For example, JDBC type 4 JDBC driver type 4 for Oracle. For whom was Oracle? Next, JDBC type 4 driver for MySQL, or you can take same for SQL Server, etc. boss. Fine. Let us proceed for now. Type 3 driver. Understanding of type 3 driver. JDBC JDBC type 3 driver. Okay, boss. Type 3 JDBC driver type 3 JDBC driver is not given to talk or communicate with the database software directly. It is given to gather one JDBC driver, one JDBC connection, one JDBC connection object, to connection pool by interacting with the proxy server or web server. Are you getting, boss, what I mean to say? JDBC driver is directly not communicating with the database software directly. What it is trying to do, it takes one JDBC connection objects from the connection pool. I will let you know what is connection pool, guys. Okay, and with the help of that JDBC connection pool, it could be able to try to connect with the database software to your Java applications. Now just understand what is connection pool, guys. Before connection pool, let me have some description. Type 3 driver. Type 3 is not JDBC driver. It is one of the networking, or you can call net protocol having set of rules to get the communication between Java application and JDBC connection. Java application and JDBC connection pool available in web server or application server or proxy server. Means we have to configure this connection pooling or net protocol driver or networking driver or type 3 driver in where, boss? Either in web server or application server or proxy server. You cannot install directly. What do you have to do? You have to configure this type 3 driver in where? In one of these server, either in web server or application server or proxy server. Because of that reason, it is called as what? Net protocol driver. What is called as? Net protocol driver. Web server like a Tomcat, application server like a Glassfish or WebLogic. Okay, and any other proxy server like a IDS, server, guys. Fine. JDBC connection pool is a factory. That contains set of readily available JDBC connection object before before actually before actually being used. Okay, boss. Let me draw one diagram, and by using the diagrams you will come to know how can you configure, how can you understand the type 3 driver with the Java applications. Okay, boss. Let me have the paint. Let me save. This is what, boss? Type 3 driver. Okay, boss. Take an example. This is what, boss? This is client application. What is this? Client application, which contains persistent logic. Which contain what, boss? Persistent logics. This is client 2. One more client, client 3. Are you getting? All the client applications are having Java applications. Now, what I am trying to do, this client application is trying to interact with the web application, or you can call application which is installed, which is deployed on the web server or application server or any proxy server. This is proxy server, boss. Okay, and this proxy server or application server trying to interact with whom, boss? Database software. Database software which is installed on some other machine or maybe on the server machine only. Okay, this is what, boss? This is database software. This is what, boss? Database software. Let me remove these contents. Okay, boss, fine. Here is my connection pool. What is here? Connection pool contains huge number of connections. Lots of connection. This is one connection. This is two connection. This is three connection. This is fourth connection. Fifth connection. N number of connection object, boss. N number of connection object. Fine, boss. This is the number of connections. This is JDBC connection pool. This is what, boss? Java applications. Let me rename all those boxes so you will come to know what these are. Okay. This is what, boss? This is client application 1 which is installed on single client application. What is this, boss? Web server, or you can call any server, maybe Tomcat server, Glassfish server, or proxy server, guys. Okay, or you can call this is application server. Okay, or any proxy server, guys. Fine. Here is my Java applications which contains persistent logic code. Java driver manager dot connections, connection dot class dot for name, load the driver. Okay, load the driver. Sorry, not this one. It contains some persistent logic, guys. It contains what? Persistence logics. Persistence logic. Okay, fine. I'll give the steps how these are interacting with each one. And finally, let me close the connection, boss. Here is much con dot close. Okay, boss. Some logic. Next, what is here? This is client app 2. Client application 2. Okay, boss. Fine. Next, here is what, boss? Client app 3. Everyone contains persistent logic only. Everyone contains persistent logics. Now here is what, boss? Here is my JDBC connection pool. JDBC connection pool. JDBC connection pool. JDBC connection pool. Okay, boss. And these all are the objects of what? Connection. Here is con, here is con, Here is what boss? Here also connection. This is also connection. Next, these all are connection object. This is also connection. This is also connection. This is also connection, which contain n number of object boss. Which contain n number of objects. Now let me make you understand the connection flow of execution. How this executes. Here, this proxy server or application server uses JDBC drivers. Uses what boss? JDBC driver to interact with the database software. To interact with what boss? Database software. Let me draw one line from this connection pool. From this connection pool. This web server or application server uses what boss? JDBC driver, maybe type 1 driver, maybe type 2 driver, or type 4 driver, to interact with whom boss? With the database software. With the database software. Okay. And to create a huge number of JDBC connection objects. Are you getting? This is first step boss. This is first step to create a JDBC connection to create JDBC connection objects in a connection pool, from where appropriate web server or application server. Means this application server or web server or proxy server takes the help of JDBC type 1 driver or type 2 driver or type 4 driver to create a JDBC connections along with the web server applications and your appropriate database software to integrate those connections in a JDBC connection pool. Okay, fine. Here is my connections. All the connections are ready now. All the connections are ready with whom boss? Appropriate web server or application server. Fine. Then what client will do? Client will communicate. Client will communicate with whom boss? JDBC connection pool. JDBC connection pool to get or to gather one connection object. To get or to gather one connection objects from where? From JDBC connection pool. So client uses type 3 driver here. Type 3 driver to communicate with the database software, gather one connection objects from where? JDBC connection pool, which is configured in where boss? Web server or application server or proxy server, guys. So here client got one connection objects. So this connection is received by whom? One client application. Now client application uses what boss? This connection object. This connection objects. Now 1, 2, 3. Where is 3? Let me configure here only. Here is my third. Okay. Now connection is ready now. Okay. Connection received from database. Connection given to again application. Now connection will be transferred to whom boss? To again Java application. To again client application or Java application, guys. Now connection is received. Now whatever the operation that they want to perform, client application uses this received connection objects. This received connection objects to create or to develop other JDBC objects. Other JDBC object like a driver manager, like a statement, like a result set. Are you getting? To fire, to send and execute queries. After executing query, process that results. Sends or to create or develop other JDBC objects to perform persistent logics in your Java application, guys. Fine. After completion of their Java application logics, the connection objects will be returned back to connection pool. Will be returned back to connection pool by calling what was? Con.close. So here client application releases connection object back to the connection pool, and that connection objects becomes ready. Now this object is closed, na? Now this object ready for here again, for to use for other second client, for third client, for fifth client, for sixth client. Are you getting what I mean to say? So this becomes ready for next clients. So minimum number of, so I can, so here minimum number of JDBC connection object will be ready available for n number of clients to interact with the web server, and web server will take care of openings and closing those connections and provide services to appropriate client applications, guys. Are you getting? Now I am what was? Take an example. What I am trying to do, I am trying to connect with the database server of SBI with my account. This is web application, na? Web application is somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. My client application will interact with the server application. The server application takes the help of this type 3 driver where JDBC application is developed. Gives the connection to its appropriate request. Perform all the operation with the database software. Here it is type 1 or type 2 or type 3, guys. Let me rename all these things. I haven't renamed properly. Here is what was? Type 1 or type 2 or type 4 or type 5, guys. Here it is type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. And this is what was my database software. Now fine. After getting the connection from here, look at here, one more connection. Sure. Let me give the names for these steps. Okay, boss, fine. This is bidirectional. And here also bidirectional. Let me give the steps for here. This is first. This is where is the first application. Let me come to here again. This is first step. Next here, then client uses this application. This is second step. Let me give some different color so it will come to know. Here client uses what was? Type 3 driver, type 3 protocol. What it is? Type 3 protocol. Okay, boss, fine. Here second step, and here let me give here third and fourth step to this one. Third comma fourth step. Client performs CURD operations on where was? On database. Next, at fifth here, this is fifth step. Here releases the JDBC connection object. Releases the JDBC connection object. Just make this arrow as a bidirectional. Make this arrow as a bidirectional, guys. What is the meaning of this one, guys? Some people may clear, some people may not clear this one. Why? Because I will give one more simple example, guys. Tomorrow I ask to all you guys, while coming here, bring your own chairs. to arrange your sitting arrangement, to perform your sitting arrangement. Bring your own chairs, sit here. Okay? And after completion of the class, what I will do, collect your chairs and go back to your home. Are you getting what I mean to say? Are you getting? Means what are you trying to do? You are doing your own adjustment. You are doing your own adjustment. Means opening the connection and closing connection done by yourself only. But instead of on behalf of you, I will ask to the management of my college, okay, of your institute, what is that? Arrange all the chairs before student has to arrive. What student will do? Use the appropriate chairs as per their requirement. Perform the curd operation on that chair, on that connection. Okay. Perform the persistent logics, and after completion of the class, they will return chair back to the institutes and go back to home. Are you getting, boss? This all the tasks will be done by whom? This type 3 driver, which is configured on the web server, or which is configured on where, boss? Application server or proxy server. Do you understand? This proxy server or this web server internally uses one or other type of driver. Maybe type 1 driver or type 3, type 4, type 2 driver, or type 4 driver, type 5 driver. Are you getting? Huh? Just your application will interact with the web server by using this JDBC connection pool. Okay? JDBC connection pool responsibility is to allocate appropriate connection to the requested client. After completion of their work, the connection object will be returned back from that particular client. Are you getting, boss? Huh? Means directly you are not using with the appropriate type 3 driver. The web server will provide the configuration for those configuration which is configured in its appropriate web server or application server or proxy server, guys. Understood now? Are you clear? Okay, boss. If client 2 requires, client 2 application. If client 4 requires, client 4 applications. Whoever will give the request to this application, they will perform the set of operation based on its appropriate connections and release those connection by using connection pooling to its web server or application server. Write some steps. Okay, boss, fine. All JDBC connection object in JDBC connection pool represents connectivity with some database software. For example, JDBC connection pool for Oracle means all connection objects in that connection pool represents connectivity with same Oracle database software. So this is with respect to the diagram. What is the diagram I shown to you? With respect to diagram. Okay, boss, fine. Step 1. Proxy server uses type 1 driver or type 1 or type 2 or type 4 or type 5 JDBC driver to interact with the database software and to create JDBC connection objects in the connection pool client application uses type 3 protocol to gather one connection object from JDBC connection pool. Okay, boss. Let me complete third and fourth step. Client application uses this received JDBC connection object. This received JDBC connection object to develop and create other JDBC object, like what was statement, result set, JDBC object, and to develop JDBC persistence logic. This persistent logic manipulates database data like curd. Okay, are you getting what is the meaning of curd, guys? Not eating food curd. Create, insert, update, delete, read. Okay, boss. And fifth step, client application releases the connection object back to the connection pool and that connection object becomes ready to give service to next clients. Means here minimum number of objects communicating or talking with the maximum number of clients. As I gave the example to you, classroom chairs. Now classroom chairs are utilized by your batch, some second year batch, some evening batch, some morning batches. Are you getting? Morning 7 to 8:30, one batch. Are you getting? Evening 3 to 5, one batch. Same chairs are utilizing by multiple peoples, na? Are you getting? Okay, boss. Those who want to leave, they can leave. Advantages of JDBC connection pool. Advantages of JDBC connection pool. There is no need of creating or managing. There is no need of creating or managing and destroying JDBC connection object. JDBC connection object because these operations will be taken care by JDBC connection pool itself. JDBC connection pool itself. So programmer is not at all responsible to create and responsible for all these activities. Just what the programmer will do: use the given connection objects and complete your persistent logics and enjoy your work. By minimum number of JDBC connection object we use by using minimum number of JDBC connection object we can make more client application talking with database software. Okay, boss. There are two types of JDBC connection. There are two types of JDBC connection objects. Okay, boss. What are those? One is direct JDBC connection. One is what, boss? Pooled connection. One is direct JDBC connection. Second is pooled connection. Here, these direct connection objects are created by whom, boss? Created by programmer manually. Okay. For example, class dot for name. Here I am passing what? Type 1 driver class name. Sun dot JDBC dot ODBC dot JDBC ODBC driver. And here what was? Connection con assignment operator driver manager dot get connection here I am passing all three properties, guys. Okay, boss. Next, second, what is that, boss? Pooled connection. It is the JDBC. It is the JDBC connection object. It is the JDBC connection object that is generated or gathered from JDBC connection pool. So here refer type 3 driver. Okay, boss. Ooh. What a joke, na? 1/3. We'll finish within 15 days. Okay, boss. Fine. We'll proceed for now. I'm having one example, guys, one question, one doubt in your mind. The interviewer may ask the question to you, what is the JDBC driver that you have utilized in the real-time projects? Okay. What is the JDBC driver that you have utilized in real-time projects? If project is two-tier application. What is the meaning of two-tier, guys? Two-layer application. The project is two-tier application and not using any kind of server, servers, then use type 4 mechanism. Based JDBC driver. Okay, boss. A project is three-tier. T-tier application or N-tier application, or you can use web application, web or enterprise, or any large application, any large scale application. Then 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 use then use which type of driver was? Then use type 3 driver. Then use type 3 with type 4. Type 4 is internally when you configure your JDBC connection pool in your the proxy server or web server or application server. Configure their type 4 and give the connection pool to the type 3 with the type 4 JDBC driver. Here type 3 protocol, the type 3 protocol to interact with the JDBC connection pool and type 4 is JDBC driver. Type 4 JDBC driver to create connection object in connection pool. Okay, boss. Do you understood what they will use real time? As I gave the example for SBI account. SBI account is a web application, na? It's an enterprise application. It uses internally type 3 drivers. Type 4 internally uses type 3 internally uses type 4 driver to get the connection from the database software. Okay, boss. Let me have one more question. That question is, what was reading input values and writing messages to the console without using streams, without using system.out.println, and without using system.error.println, and also without using scanner class? How will you print the values and how will you read the values from console without using system.out.println, without using streams, without using system.error.println, and without using scanner class, guys? Do you understand, boss? All doors are closed, na? So what is the solution for this? That is a part of stream, na? Oh. Guys, my mobile free to you if you use. Laptop, guys. Sang. Okay, boss. I will ask one interview question, one of the most important interview question for Java. Take this question, guys. What is that way? What is that way? That way to read input values, and write messages to console without using ask your faculties, without using stream, without using system.out.println, comma system.error.println. Without using these, guys, comma scanner class, comma scanner class. Bigger question, boss. If the interviewer asks the question like this, interviewer, what is the way that read the input values and write the messages to the console without using what, boss? Streams. So here new. Let's try this one, guys. I'll pro now. Okay. Or I'm ready to give laptop, mobile, watch, except projector. That is not mine. Okay. Fine, boss. This is my property only. Do R&D on the Google also. You won't get answer. Public. Look, before I am importing the class. The solution is what, boss? Import java dot io dot. The solution is now.
Sir, files.
I'm not using stream, boss. I'm using predefined class called console. Okay, boss. Now here is my console now. Console. This is my console. Here I will use what, boss? System dot console. I offered everything to you, but you haven't responded. This is called as Java magic, boss. Understood? Hello, boss. I'll save later on. Let me prove. Let me get now. Let me get the input now. Let me take one string value. String. Let me take name 1, guys. Name 1. Here is my cons dot read line. Let me read the line. I can read the line %, yes. Let me read the line. And here let me print the message. Enter. This is my dynamic I'm taking, na? This is a string. It is storing into here. Storing into name. Let me display. Let me take one more, guys. Okay. Enter name 2 is equal to console dot read line. I haven't tried in 1.8. Let me try. If it works, fine. Otherwise, I will go in 1.6. Okay. % yes. And here enter name 2. Here is enter name 1. Is what, boss? Enter name 2. Okay, boss. Let me print now. Okay. Cons dot printf. Understood? Here names are %, yes, yes. Let me give one tab and %, yes. Let me give the variable name 1, comma name 2. What is my application name? Test app. Control C, Control S. Where I show, let me show into 15-day. Control V. Test app dot Java. Let me go to terminal now. Because I haven't tried in JDBC 1.8. If it works, fine, better. If it doesn't work, we'll proceed for 1.6 now. Same app in tomorrow's class. Java. Okay, boss. Here is my application. Here is my command. Java C. step.java. May get warnings or if those APIs are removed. Okay, Java test app. Enter name 1. Boss, enter name 2. Wall. Shubham. Names are boss Shubham. Harla to us. Harla na? Okay boss, this is the way where I can print. Okay boss. Huh? जवळ ना मॅजिक आहे ना भारी का नाही शिव मजा ना okay boss we'll proceed for logical names of JDBC drivers okay boss fine thank you